This is Matchday Live on LUTV with NordVPN. Return to the Premier League action this afternoon after the international break to take on Fulham in the capital. All the build-up on the way ahead of live commentary on the match. This is Matchday Live, and it's Fulham against Leeds United. Well, here we go then. Can't wait to get this one underway. And joining me in the studio, scorer of that goal, Dom Matteo joins us. Dom, great to have you here.
Great to be here, mate. It's been a while.
It's always a pleasure to say that goal, and everyone knows exactly what we're talking about. And also a player who scored bags of goals for Leeds United and for our opposition today, Ross McCormack. Great to have you here as well.
Thank you, Rich. Thanks for having me.
So here we go then. Return to action after the international break, and we can't wait to get this one underway. You see the teams arriving earlier, led, worth saying, by Ethan Ampadu, who's back in the team. We'll come into the team news in just a moment. But, you know, Dom, how good is it to get back into action? Because we have this international break and it's come really early in the season as well. And now we can just focus on this next chunk of fixtures.
Yeah, 100%. Obviously, some of the boys have been away and done well. And you want them to all come back safe and sound. But, yeah, listen, it's back to business, isn't it? It's great playing for your country. But when it comes back to, you know, proper games in the Premier League where we surely need to stay and we belong there, it's just about making sure we perform at our highest level, especially away from home, because I think at home we're pretty solid, but away from home we've got to make sure we start quick and be straight at it.
Yeah, the players will be, I guess, raring to go. Those ones that have been on international duty, those ones that have been waiting for this bit. As a player, if you're not on international duty, I guess you're chomping at the bit to go.
Well, there's nothing worse, Rich. There's two things. One, you obviously haven't got a game that weekend, but two, and Dom will tell you, if you're not away in international duty, all you do is run and do fitness work for the 2 weeks. So it's ridiculous.
No one likes hard work, do they? That sounds. And of course, familiar scenes here for you. The players coming in there, a transformed ground in many ways since you were there. But memories of walking in through this area. Yeah,
what a club! Really, really fond memories there. Had a really good 2 years there. I was actually quite sad to leave, if I'm being honest. But no, top club, and I got to admit, the stadium looks a lot different now. You see the swimming pools on the roof and what have you. I wouldn't have mind being there.
Could have done that instead of all the running, you know.
Yeah, true.
Just go for a swim, we'll get the inflatables out, we'll have a lovely time. Dom, the players coming in, and Daniel Farker there, good for him as well to manage that first part of the season. You get it done as the games come thick and fast, the transfer window closes. Now, you know what you've got, you know what your squad is, and you can just start focusing really. There's a lot of outside noise, isn't there, at this time of the season, but it kind of draws a line under all of that.
Of course it is, and I think what the manager's shown, that, you know, he's not taking no nonsense. He wants to do well in the Premier League. You know, people have judged him on that, but I generally think he wants to do like any manager would want to. But I think he's assembled a squad that's going to be hard to play against, especially at home. But you know, away from home, that's the one where sometimes I do have a little bit of a worry. You know, if they get on the front foot, for me personally, just away from home, I just feel like defensively we bomb forward too early, especially in the full-back position. So I'm hoping today we've got a more balanced performance from the players, because I know myself as playing full-back, I knew I'd go forward 2 or 3 times away and in the away games. But at home, of course you've got your license to go forward, but just at home, for being away, I just want us to be a little bit more balanced in what we do and make sure that we don't get caught out down the sides.
Now's a good time, I guess, to take stock on the season so far. 4 points from the first 3 games. And Ross, how do you assess the start of that season? Because there has been so much going on, and like I say, the players go off and transfer windows and everything. But actually, when you just take those 3 games now, 4 points from those, including the win here at Everton, the draw against Newcastle, a disappointing result at Arsenal. They've just gone and tonked Nottingham Forest today as well, 3-0 full time there down at the Emirates. How do you assess that start to the season from those 3 games?
Very solid. Listen, take the Arsenal game away. That can happen to anyone, as we've seen today. Nottingham Forest, they were nearly in the Champions League last season, and they're still getting, you know, a tonking down there. So that can happen to anyone on any given day. But the other 2 games, if you were offered a win against Everton and a draw against Newcastle, who are another high-flying club, you would take it, wouldn't you? And what it's done the first 3 games, you've got a number of new players who've come in and have got minutes. This international break would have helped them as well, settle into new surroundings and things like that. So I think all in all, if you were offered 4 points before a ball was kicked, you would have took it.
100%. Bang on what Ross is saying. I would have said exactly the same. Like I said, we know there's no easy games, but I think we've approached obviously 2 clean sheets at home. So, you know what I'm like, I'm stickler for a clean sheet. But we have got the players who can hurt other teams. We just haven't seen that quality in the final third. I'm sure we'll talk about that at points today. That final third's key. We get into some great areas. Now we've got, you know, a big opposing centre half who can get his head on things as well. I'm not saying the other lads can't, but we've obviously brought Calvin in for a reason. And I think just put stick balls up there and work off the pieces. You know, sometimes basic football can get you in the right positions for people to get tap-ins and stuff.
Probably a good point to run through that team news then for you. Of course, we knew there were going to be changes from the previous game. Perry injured. Carl Darlow starts in goal. Back four of Bogle, Road on Strike and Goodmanson. Good news is captain Ethan Ampadu returns to the team at that base of midfield. Longstaff and Stack alongside him. And then it's Aronson, Okafor and DCL Calvert-Lewin, like you say, who leads the line at the moment. A lot of new players have come in as well, haven't they, Ross? It's difficult for a manager, really. You're taking a championship team, getting promoted, players that have done really well, players that you want to see in the Premier League, players that have come in. Getting that balance right, and then you throw in some injuries, it's not the easiest job for a head coach.
Well, injuries are the killer, innit? Especially if it's key players getting injured. But no, you look at the new players who have come in. I think there's been some big signings, but for me personally, I think the biggest one could be Calvert-Lewin, because we were speaking about it. At home, you're okay, you're always going to be competitive here at Elland Road, but see when you go away from home, you're going to be under the cosh sometimes. So it's important that at times, if you're a centre-half, you're not looking to play out, just get the ball up there to Big Dom's chest. Get a hold of it, get a free kick, get your midfielders into the game, but most importantly, give your defenders a rest. So I think he's a massive signing for the club.
Okay, well, one of those new recruits who retains his place in the starting 11 is Sean Longstaff. Came in that game against his former club Newcastle and is starting today against Fulham. Let's get his thoughts ahead of today's big 3 o'clock kickoff.
Well, Sean, here we go again, back in action. Looking forward to this one?
Yeah, it should be a good game, be a really tough test. They're a good side, really well coached, but yeah, it's been a good break for us, got some players back and yeah, looking forward to it.
Have you had useful time on the training ground?
Yeah, it's been really good. Players getting fitter, stronger, we've put in a lot of hard work in the break. It's not been a holiday by any means, so yeah, hopefully culminates in a good performance today.
And do you hope you can take something from this, points-wise?
Yeah, of course. I think it's a game I think we target every game for points, but we know they're a good side, but also yeah, if we can cause them problems, create chances and put the ball in the back of the net, it'll be a good game, and yeah, definitely one we're targeting for points.
So there you go, Sean Longstaff talking about working hard and getting fit and enjoying those times in the international break. Ross, just like you were saying before, that's code for working hard and running around without a game then.
I must admit, I think he's telling a few fibs and he enjoyed it. No one enjoyed that.
You would have said the same in a pre-match interview when you were playing there, Ross, wouldn't you? That's
probably, yeah.
Sean's addition to the team, when we saw him in that game against Newcastle, could prove potentially a really important player for the club this season, Dom.
Yeah, I thought he started a little bit slow in the first couple of games. Maybe he didn't get as much game time, but when he came into that last game, I thought he was excellent. You know, and I think his performance, he grew into the game as well in the last game. And I think he's one of those players that's going to get better. I think he's new to the club. He's been at Newcastle for so long. To make that move and obviously play against them as well is quite tough. But I think he used that and he channeled it brilliantly when he played against Newcastle. And I think he's the type of player who's got Premier League experience, played in Europe. He's the type of player, when we signed him, I thought, that's a good one, that. Because when I look at the club, I always think, I want to see Premier League players within our ranks when we signed him. We didn't sign too many, but he was one. And I think he'll get better as the season goes on.
Do you know what I think he's got, which I believe is one of the biggest attributes that you can have, especially away from home in the Premier League? Legs.
Yeah, legs.
Energy. The energy he's got. Because at times, he's going to have to probably be the one who goes and breaks to try and stretch the game sometimes, especially if you're camped in. You need to get back, you need to get up. He's got energy in abundance.
How good is it to see that man, the club captain, back on the field of play? Don, we were discussing this earlier, you know, when he has picked up injuries, he touch wood, I like to say, but he always seems to come back almost ahead of schedule. Like he does seem to bounce back well from something that he might have picked up. But you know, we know, and the stats tell us this, when Ethan Ampadu plays, Leeds' points tally is better.
Well, he's the captain, he's the leader, he's the organiser, he's the one who talks, and I'm sure he's the same when he, you know, at the training ground. And I think if you've come back from an injury, I don't know how serious it was, when you come back so quick, he's obviously looked after himself. He's done the right things, and he's leading by example. And I think such a big plus when he's playing. Wherever he plays, and you know, me and Ross were talking about, he can play midfield or he can play centre half. There's probably there's a chat about that probably going to happen at some point because he's so good in both. But I kind of agree with Ross when we talked. I like him as a centre half. I think he sees the picture and reads it well. But obviously the other lads are good as well. It's just our personal opinions on the game. But I think one thing he's got a good vision as well. So if things aren't going too well, he can hit a nice diag down the sides, which is very important just to get you up the field, especially away from home. Okay, well, we'll be bringing you live commentary from this fantastic clash. 3 o'clock kickoff, like we said, just under 20 minutes to go. So let's head down to Craven Cottage, where it was tipping it down, but the sun's shining now and we can get the thoughts from our commentary team, Bryn Law and Tony DeRigo.
Leeds United looking for some heroes here, perhaps, at Craven Cottage today as action resumes. We'll look at the team first. Interesting lineup.
It certainly is. So a few players will be making their full debut. Dominic Calvert-Lewin will be starting up top. Okafor as well on the left-hand side, and Aronson comes in as well. So plenty of changes, plenty of opportunities for players to really put their mark down for the club.
We've been chatting in the build-up to the game. I think it's the midfield three that you wanted to see, isn't it?
Yeah, I think away from home, you just have a look of how we play and how strong we need to be in there, trying to be competitive. And the ones I think that really will make it nice and difficult for opponents in there is Stack, Longstaff and Ampadu. So great to see Ampadu back. I think just being back in the side with his leadership, I think it'll be a real bonus today.
Fulham have not had the greatest start, and yet they've been impressive in patches in games so far this season, but they do tend to be pretty hard to beat here, don't they?
We know that, don't we? They've turned us over a few times here. They're a good side. They've been in the Premier League for a number of years now. You're right, they haven't had the results. Certainly that they're, I suppose, the way they play merits, but they've been around for a long time. Quality players. I look at their bench, it's a strong old bench as well, so we know it's going to be tough, but these are the sort of games where we have to be competitive in. That's why today is a good barometer to make sure we are competitive in these types of games.
And is it producing the kind of rugged, defensive, disciplined display we saw against Newcastle, and then adding the little bit needed up top?
And that's what we are waiting for, aren't we? That little bit up top. I think we've seen enough in the 3 games where we know we've got a great spirit, we know we can dig in, we can defend well, a couple of clean sheets at home. It's on the travels, can we do that, and where can we nick that goal? Can we produce something from a set piece or a free kick, whatever it is, that next step? And that's what I'll be looking for today.
That's absolutely right. We'll be looking forward to the game, Fulham against Leeds United. Full commentary coming up shortly.
Yeah, Bryn Law and Tony DeRigo raring and ready to go, as are we, as I'm sure you are as well. I talked about Fulham today. They're a good team, 2 points from those games that they've played, Brighton, Man United and Chelsea. So a tricky run of fixtures for them to start with. But, Ross, they are a good team, established Premier League. They play good football. They'll be a real challenge today. Yeah, you're right. They are established, but I've spoke about this before. They've been able to do that because what happened in their first season, they stayed up. And that's exactly what Leeds need to do. That opens up the doors for everything moving forward for Leeds. It's just staying up. Don't worry about European football, top 10, anything like that. However you can stay up in your first year in this division, that allows you to go and build a squad and build a team capable of challenging the way Fulham have done. Yeah, when you look at the team set up today, midfield's going to be key, isn't it, Don? When you look at their pairing of Sander Berger and Sasha Lukic, and then we've got Ampadu, Longstaff, Stack, and how that's going to match up against each other. That battle in that third of the field is key. Well, that's what games are won and lost in that midfield area. We know ourselves as players, if you win your personal battles, especially in that midfield duels, you usually come out on top. But I think today I want to see us keep the ball a little bit better away from home. Obviously, when we played at Arsenal, not hyping back to that game because it wasn't great, but we lost the ball, we gave the ball away in silly areas when we could have kept it. Sometimes just to settle yourself down, just a simple pass, and then like you say, when we get our opportunity, maybe go a little bit longer into Calvert and to Dominic, you know what I mean? So I think
there's things that if things aren't going right, we can change it as well. And like you said, we've got plenty of people on the benches. We've got a lot of quality on the bench now as well. So the bench is looking strong, which is positive. But we've got to make sure, I talked about earlier, them personal duels, we've got to win more of them today. Yeah,
Muniz up top, we know, is a good goal scorer for them as well. But we did want to pick out Josh King. So this sort of young lad who's come into the team and well, made all the headlines, didn't he, really, for scoring a fantastic team goal for Fulham. That was chalked off against Chelsea, just a kind of terrible VAR decision there, which I think Fulham have given August's goal of the season to Josh King, even though it was chalked off because it was such a good goal. But a playmaker and a player that will sit just behind that front line and a dangerous one at that. Yeah,
very dangerous. But that shows you the quality the kid's got, Rich. I mean, to get into that team, it's okay. I mean, Dom will tell you, you have an 18-year-old, 19-year-old coming in, gets some minutes, he's in and out of the team or whatever, but it looks as if he's going to be a mainstay. That shows the quality that he's got. Dangerous player, but again, it's not just him. Look on the left, he's going to have Iwobi, who had a great season last year. Harry Wilson's got serious quality, plays on the right, coming in onto his left foot. So there's threats everywhere in this Fulham team. So
what is the game plan then? You know, you're setting up the team here today, Ross. Go on, you're in charge today now. Well, what is the game plan to try and get something out of the game?
Well, what Dom was asking for there was a bit more control in the game, more possession. Yeah. I think Fulham will afford you that luxury. They're not renowned as being this high pressing team, so I think they'll let Leeds keep the ball up to a certain point before they start to get after them. I've got to agree with them. Yes. Got to keep the ball better, but I think we've got to move it quicker as well, because I think against a team like Fulham, the quicker you move it, the more chance you have of creating opportunities further up the pitch.
A bit of one of these kind of quirk stats for you. Fulham have conceded a penalty in their last 5 league games. From what I've seen, no team has done 6 in a row. If you're a defender, Dom, is that something that you're thinking about? You know, you've got a tricky player like Okafor maybe running towards the box. Is it just at the back of your mind that about where you're going to put your foot in?
Did you stay up all night getting that stat?
Do you know what? I can't actually claim it. A friend of mine who's a big Fulham fan sent that over to me. But it's an interesting one. It doesn't happen often.
I mean, listen, as a next defender, you want to stay on your feet, and obviously it may be showing the vulnerability that they don't do that and giving penalties away. But you take anything, don't you? And I think what we've seen nowadays is that people are getting goals for now. You know, you touch somebody now, they fall over. So you've got to be careful as a player now. Never mind being a centre half. Anywhere on that pitch, you touch anyone, they're going down. That's just the way it's changed for us. I mean, surely in Ross's and my era, you could get away with a little bit of a tackle or a nudge, but nowadays you can't do anything.
Okay, I want you two to have a little think, just because I'm coming back to you in a moment, about how good you were as players. Just pop that in there just for a moment. I'll tell you why. The FC 26 ratings are out for the new season, and our Leeds United squad have seen theirs. But the question is, are the ratings fair or unfair? Let's see what the players thought.
Matteo, my physicality there.
I was going to say, they gave me the same physical as Byron. How is that possible?
So Brendan's at 80 pace and I'm a 74. I don't think that makes sense.
Oh, 74.
Your shooting is crazy, you know?
55. 81 is...
No, it's good. It's good rating, yes.
No. No? No. 76.
What is this? Like, what is it going on the side? It looks like...
How do I have 64 pace?
64?
64.
Yeah, what's my... 64. Look, my pace?
Your pace is
I'm 64. I'm okay. Normally I would be 71 too, but okay.
Pascal's a sloth on here. 56, sure.
Yeah, why don't you say? Why don't you speak?
Youngie, man. 56.
I'm 4 points stronger than Willie, apparently.
Who do you think is the fastest player of the team? And what do you think his pace is?
DJ?
Yes.
90.
94.
Whoa. DJ 94 pace.
You just got 94, bro. That's crazy. Wait, did I see it right? 59 pace. Fuck, is 59 pace.
46 shot. They gave Jack a better shooting than me. Joe Roden 76 pace, I'm gonna get onto.
Shot 72. Passing 66, 65, sorry. I don't know. This is disgraceful to me.
Bro, 31
defense is crazy to me. Like, I run back, I press, I won a lot of balls, but it's fine. I'll show you guys this year, Guys, it was a pleasure. Next year we're gonna be back and better. Take care. Thank you very much.
There you go. I think my favourite part of that Willie Gnonto thing is that I press, I do my defensive work, but it's fine. It's absolutely fine. It's all good. It's a bit difficult to look at your own ratings there, isn't it, Dom? What would you, in your peak, in your prime, what do you think your best attribute rating would have been?
I was a lot quicker than what people thought. People would say I was slow, but I wasn't. The thing for me is I used to read the game, so you don't have to do as much running.
Overall, out of 100, what would you give yourself?
It's hard to say that in it, so, you know.
Shall I rate Don?
I'll tell you what, rate each other. That'll be better.
Well, I reckon we're both around at 80, but you know we both should be better than that, in my opinion.
You agree with that, Ross?
I would take 80 all day long.
Yeah,
yeah, all day long. I'm happy with that.
We can actually show you, Dom. This is from the ratings back in your day.
Great.
Yeah, they had computers and everything. Take a look at this. This is your teammates here. So they're 86 there. You're an 86, which is one of the highest rated. That's a great team. Lee Bowyer with the highest for that with a 93. Does that seem fair? Look at that decor. Fowler, Radebe, Viduka, Smith. Yeah. They're both rated the same actually on 87.
Robbie Fowler, I'd like to see.
I mean, Robbie's a lot quicker as well in his finishing. Yeah. I mean, listen, it's a great squad, great team of players. But one thing we had when they used to come out, we just have a laugh about it. But a few did get a bit like Willie did a little bit, did he? Didn't like them stats.
He's fine, Dom. He said he's fine.
Well, he didn't look fine to me. I will mention that when I see it. But no, listen, you know, Ross will tell you, it's a bit of fun, and you take the mickey out of each other, and that's where you get your camaraderie and stuff.
I guess that is the point, isn't it? And you can take us back to your times. It is about taking the you-know-what out your teammates. I'm sure there was plenty of that, and I'm sure you were at the centre of a lot of it, Ross.
Yeah, you're probably right. What it does, it just shows you it's just another opinion, isn't it? Yeah. I mean, it's not fact, but it's just someone's opinion of how good you are.
You peaked at 76 in FIFA 2017, if you'd like the stat there.
I told you I would take 80.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, you weren't offered it. But there you are. What were you doing back in the day in terms of, you know, there's a lot of playing FC and all that kind of stuff. Was you and the squad doing that kind of thing? Because you guys do have a lot of spare time.
I think back in my time, we had a sort of core group of players who would play. It wasn't really at that point FC, sorry to say, but it was more Call of Duty, where everyone could be in a team and battle against like a group of other teams' players. So it was quite big back in the day, actually.
And you were a little bit before that, Don. What were you doing when you weren't playing?
Unfortunately, I was always involved with the card school, wasn't I? Which, you know, not proud of, but I was. It was enjoyable for moments. But now, listen, I played a bit of Tiger Woods golf. That's the only one I was any good. I didn't really play all them games, but Eric Backer was my roommate, and we'd go up against each other. Usually I lost. But yeah, it was a bit of fun, isn't it? You know, you have a quick hour or whatever, and then get yourself to bed, obviously. Just
one quick one, because I've always wondered this, like when, you know, if someone like me as a fan plays, you know, I love playing a bit of FIFA, FC, whatever it might be. But when you play and you're one of the players on the game, that just must be a totally bizarre experience.
Yeah, but I think the level I played at in the Championship, I was not using Leeds United. I was going to the big clubs, Real Madrid, Barcelona, whatever. I wasn't want to play with myself and Snoddy and people like that. No chance.
Fair enough. Well, we'll leave that one there. Listen, we're getting close to kick-off. 6 minutes to go. Dom, this is an important game at the start of this run of Fulham away, Wolves away, and then Bournemouth at home. We're taking these as threes and threes. This is an important 9 points up for grabs.
Yeah, 100%. Like you say, especially away from home, you just don't want to get beat, in my opinion. Make sure you don't lose the game. And when you get your opportunity, especially take your chances. You've got to take your chances. Today's no different. Obviously, we've got our captain back as well, which is a massive bonus. Use that. But I think, like I say, I've looked at the bench as well. I'm thinking lots of energy if we need it. But let's start well. Let's not concede early. You know, I'm always about defending properly in the early stages of the game. Grow into the game, and if we grow into the game properly, you know, I fancy us to definitely get something from the game.
Yeah, you can see the players getting ready to come out in just a moment. And in terms of Craven Cottage as a ground, when you go there as a home player, as an away player, for a place to play, what is that like?
Listen, it's a sort of iconic little stadium on the banks of the River Thames, and it's beautiful. Pitch is always perfect, but it's probably not the most intimidating place for an away player, shall we say that. There's more sort of there's more intimidating stadiums to go to. I think
like Elland Road.
Like the one behind us,
yeah.
Okay, let me just very quickly get a score prediction from you both, if that's all right. Ross, what's the score going to be today?
I'm going to, first time in my career here, sit on the fence, I'm going to say 1-1.
Outrageous behaviour. Dom?
I was thinking that as well, but because, you know, I've got to do something different, I'm going to go for a 2-1 win for us.
Okay, hopefully so. The players are nearly ready. We're nearly ready. We hope you are as well. Live commentary on the way. Let's hand over to our commentary team, Bryn Law and Tony DeRigo. Enjoy the game.
So here we are, Leeds United's second Premier League away fixture of this season, and we are back in London for it. This time we're on the banks of the River Thames at the quaint and cosy Craven Cottage, even despite its quite impressive new main stand that towers over the rest of the stadium, over on the far side from where we are sitting, right on the halfway line in the traditional wooden seats of the old stand. It's quite a sight here just at the moment. The sun is shining again. It hasn't been throughout the build-up to the game. We've had some really heavy showers, but the clouds have cleared, the blue skies are above, the fireworks go off, and the teams arrive on the playing surface. Leeds United will be in the changed colours as Fulham are all in white. The Leeds United supporters are away to our left. The Leeds fans here in big numbers. Lots of yellow, blue and white in that corner of the ground. As the two sides emerge to quite the fanfare here at Fulham. Nothing old school about the introduction, it's very much